take my wife or buy my wife something because I hurt her. I didn't understand the concept of getting sober. I just understood like, okay, I'm okay now, it's okay. And it would just be repeat, 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 where, there would be, I swore I wasn't going to leave the house. And here I am in the morning, there's 57 missed calls, How did it happen again? How did it happen again? And I remember saying things to my wife like, if you could just let this one thing go, I'm so sweet and love you, I'm so good in if you could just let this one thing go, or like what's the, I would try to minimize it, like when you're asleep, what is the difference, things like that, and so it was 15 years of that, and going from injecting cocaine and to smoking cocaine. And then at some point, I turned my disease around, into heroin and thought that was the better option because, at least I would be able to be home when I was doing it. The cocaine would have me out of the house where I'd be, afraid to come home, paranoid, not answer my phone. Where heroin had me more active in my house, had me more active in my business. I thought it was like the miracle I've been missing. Like I should have been on this for my whole life. My life would have been great. That's how crazy this disease is. It leads you to
it is.
The next bad thing is better than the last bad thing, and so basically, me doing heroin, in my 30s, right, is me taking that first drink when I'm 13. It soothed me in a way that nothing did. It was like, wow, this is what I've been missing. I carried that same thing, 20 years later, and then, as always, my wife, she had enough. My wife, finally left me. And that was the most devastating time in my life. And I bring that up because at that moment in time, everything that I loved was gone. My wife, my kid, I was all alone in my house. And the only thing I could do was get numb. It was so much pain that I could not be numb. And I crashed again. I went right back to the cocaine. And, I went on this terrible run for 3 days where my wife had showed up at the house after she left because my daughter was calling me all night. I went and answered the phone and she was scared that I died, because that's how people would they wouldn't know. Like, I'm not answering the phone. And she showed up at my house and seen what was going on in the house and called the police on me. So I took off for 2 more days. So for 3 days, I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I didn't drink anything. And third day, I went back to my house and I overdosed. And it was in the midst of the overdose that I jumped out a window thinking I was going to be dead, not wanting to be dead in the house that my daughter was going to, grow up in. I thought it was the honorable way to go, go out a second story window and, end up in the hospital. And I got arrested because when they found me, they found drugs, and I'm in the hospital and I'm on morphine and I'm having someone bring me drugs in the hospital because I knew what was going to happen when I got, when I wasn't high. I knew the pain